I've had surgery. Had surgery on my L4, L5, S1. Disc re-herniated. I've got herniated discs in my neck as well. And, the surgeon's like, you surgery again.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. My first surgery was an absolute nightmare. Absolutely not. I will never do it again. Wow. The most pain I've ever been in my life. So when I came in, sat through, met with Dr. Cindy again, and met with you, and went through your presentation and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this guy cares. That this is not just like, I'm not going to name any other companies, where you just show up and they crack you and you leave.
Right.
You guys did the X-rays and everything, and you're like actually sitting down. This is the angle of this. This is where it should be.
Right.
That,
Whole
like
different
actually
process,
sat down, and I was like, okay, this is pretty legit. At the time, I was still in the Marine Corps when I started being a patient here.
Yeah.
I hadn't been to the gym in like 2 years because of it. Actually, since before my surgery. And there was never a moment where I stood up from a chair and did not brace myself mentally and physically to stand up. Wow. And that's just the way it was. My very first session with Dr. Sydney, like, I was sore a little bit afterwards, for like an hour or whatever. I went home and I'm editing on my computer, and I just stood up and I was like, no way.
Right.
I was like, no way.
It's amazing.
No joke. And so I'm like twisted. I'm like, oh my God. And she told me, she was like, now it might take a little bit of time for some relief. And I was like, it was almost immediate. And I went to the gym that day. I went to the gym later that day and ran 3 miles. Now I regretted it for the next like 3 days.
Because she probably told you not to do that.
She did. Yeah, she did. In all fairness. And so for like the next 3 days, like I could barely walk, because like my leg muscles were jello. But I've been a huge proponent.
That's awesome.
Of this. And anytime anybody's like, oh, my back hurts, I'm like, check these guys out.
Yeah.
So I appreciate what you guys do.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you.
Because I can't imagine, having to live life daily in pain like I was the last 2 years for the rest of my life. I'm not taking pills. I'm not taking Oxy or anything like that. I'm not going to sit here and do this other stuff. Like this stuff works.
Yeah.
And I was a skeptic for a long time, and if it wouldn't have been for y'all's office, like kind of forcing my hand, because as a Marine, it's hard because you're like, oh, I'll tough it out,
right?
I'll make it,
right?
So this is the first time in my life where I actually like put my health first.
Yeah,
but you guys had to force me to do it. So I appreciate that.
Yes,
I appreciate
that's awesome to hear.
So thank you.
Good stuff.
Yeah.